Standard dog life. Always gets in the way. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week's episode is a little bit different. Katie and I are off to Brighton in a few days' time to go and have what's called a COMET test, which is to look at the DNA fragmentation of my sperm cells. This could help us identify the problem as to why we can't have children or why we're struggling to have children. Super nervous. Yeah, it's a difficult part. We've put this off for a long time. Very scared of the results. Because this could really change the outcome of the future of our kind of family trying. So as you can imagine, this is quite a difficult episode to put out there, and it helps me explain why fertility is quite a difficult thing to talk about, but it's perfectly fine to be open and honest about it. But first I'm going to catch up with Ian Stones. Ian Stones has been amazing. He's helped Kate and I out with our health, our lifestyle, our balance, and getting us kind of in the best possible condition. I suppose get us healthy, which is perfect for fertility, and he's helping us out, and very kind of Ian to help us out with what we're doing. But I'm catch up with Ian, and yeah, I thought I'd introduce you guys to him because I think it'd be really cool for you to see Ian and what he does, and exactly how he goes about doing that. So here's Ian. Introducing to you guys today, Ian Stones. Hi Ian.
Hello Toby.
Yeah. So for the guys that follow me, obviously you've been aware that I've done some stuff around kind of my nutrition, getting balance back in my body and myself for the purpose mainly of fertility and trying to put ourselves in a better position for our fertility treatment. And hopefully one day that means that we can have a child. You can hear my dog in the background. But Ian, if you can just introduce yourself and tell my viewers a little bit about you, and then we can get started on some Q&A and kind of talk about more what we're about to.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess if you want to give me a title, I mean, I would say I'm a fertility wellness expert, but my training, my background is Chinese medicine and acupuncture. However, I think as you've experienced, it's so much bigger than that. But yeah, my specialist interest is looking after couples that are struggling to conceive, and my role is to help them cope with the emotional ups and downs of that journey, cope with the stresses and strains, but also then look at the practical things that they can do on a day-to-day basis, because I'm sure you guys appreciate sometimes it all feels a bit out of control and you don't know what to do for the best. So my role is very much about helping people take proactive steps around their health, their wellness and their fertility, so actually they feel like they're doing something. And I kind of quite often end up being a partner within that journey, helping people. I work with clients for years, sometimes it's just months, but it's very much about bringing everything together in terms of life, emotions, stress, diet, exercise, all of that, bringing it together and helping people on that journey.
Yeah, and yes, just for the last, how long are we working together now? Is it nearly 2 months?
Probably
maybe a bit longer.
Yeah.
It's been quite interesting. So for those that you don't know, that I've been through a fertility journey of almost 6 years. We took out the best part of the last 18 months out from any treatment or any kind of focus of baby trying, purely just to find myself and Katie again and just kind of get our energy back and just recharge from what's been a really emotional time and a difficult time, kind of losing 2 babies, and it's been really tough. But now we're back on a position where we're focusing again on, what we can do in terms of our health. That of course will be great if it benefits fertility, but also just for the long term of our own health and sanity itself. So Ian and I got together again a couple of months ago to look at that, and it's been quite a ride actually, Ian. I've been really grateful for your help and your support, because there's been so many small changes that we've made thanks to you, that I feel so much happier and healthier. I've got a lot more energy, and generally I just feel in a really positive headspace, and that's testament to what you've done. So
thank you.
Yeah, let's start with day one. What did we do? when we met.
Can you even remember?
I can, yeah. So I had Ian does a free discovery consultation with his clients to talk through their situation. Normally it's led from fertility because that's where Ian's expertise lie. And that's where obviously why we went to Ian. So we actually talked through it separately. So I had a meeting with Ian, and Katie also had a meeting with Ian. And we talked through things like lifestyle, diet, what I do, every aspect of my life, actually more in depth than I kind of realized, to be fair. I didn't know what I was in for. But it was really fascinating because Ian then took that information away. And then over the course of the next maybe 4 or 5 meetings I had with Ian, he was kind of like drip feeding information to me that was tailored specifically for me on the basis of Chinese medicine. So Ian, can you just tell me a little bit about the process itself?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I take people on a journey. I don't know if this is how it's been for you, but
Yeah.
it's an educational process. And this is what I say to people in the discovery consultation. The discovery consultation is just about finding out if we're a match, basically. Where are you at as an individual? What are your problems, issues, challenges, and where do you want to get to? Obviously, with fertility, the outcome is always about a baby, but it's also about what else do you want out of your life and health and well-being, and how is all of this impacting. So once I've done the discovery consultation, then we can suss out, okay, right, are we right to work together? Because I want to work with somebody who's about taking action and wants that help and support, and they want to find something they can trust and are happy to work with. So once we've done that, then we commit to the treatment plan, however that looks, and we then do the case history session, and that's the longer session that you and I did, which can be about an hour. Knowing how much you and I like to talk, I think it was probably an hour and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Maybe 2 hours, I think.
Maybe.
But that's actually, I love that part. I love getting to know people on a deep level, and that there's some very practical stuff in that session in terms of, okay, well, how's your sleep? What's your diet like? So what do you eat each day? Or what's a typical day look like? And we look at things like your digestion, your bowel habits. For a woman, obviously go through a gynecological history. But also we then start looking at things like exercise, work patterns, obviously shift patterns and things like that, which was quite significant for you with your work. And other kind of life factors, bring all of that together. And in Chinese medicine, that is about me being able to make a diagnosis. That's about me being able to find out where the imbalances lie. So where are parts of your system not working as well as they could do? And in Chinese medicine, we look at symptoms as a result of those imbalances. So if somebody says to me, well, I get headaches, I would ask a lot more questions around that because there are so many different types of headaches in Chinese medicine. But then that would enable me to work out where that headache is coming from. What is the imbalance within your body that is causing that headache? Then there might be some other symptoms, maybe anxiety or difficulty getting off to sleep. So I end up, by the time I've done that case history and then gone through it afterwards, I actually draw it out on a sheet of paper. I still do it just as I did at college like 20 years ago.
That's mad.
Yeah, pen and paper. It's by far the easiest way. And I put all of these boxes on a sheet of paper, and I work out how it will connect. So it's a bit like being an investigator to some degree. But you're finding out where the imbalance is and which ones are key, I suppose. Which ones are, it's like a needle in a haystack or untangling a ball of yarn. You can see I like my analogies. Which thread have you got to pull that's going to undo, that's going to have the biggest effect? So which element of those imbalances do I need to focus on with you to get you the biggest result? Interestingly, for most people, there's a lot of digestive stuff. So that's quite key. So then, once we've done that, we then had another session, didn't we, like a week later, where I then explained all of this to you. So it's like, right, the reason you're getting X, Y, and Z is because of this, and the reason you're getting that is because of this. And then you start to see what it is in your life that's impacting on your health and what's knocking you out of balance. Because this is the thing, where, as human beings, we're born probably fundamentally pretty well in balance. But as we grow up and we start, having more emotional upsets and physical traumas, poor diet, we take on work, all of that stuff, it's all knocking us out of balance. So then what we did with the second session, the kind of big review, is like, right, what are the elements of your life, diet, stress, whatever, that's impacting on your health? And now, what do we do to change it? And then comes the work on your behalf,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
So then you
And
got your homework.
that's right. Yeah. And it's been, do you know what? It's been an amazing journey, to be fair, because from the initial consultation right through to where we're at now, where I am now putting that all to play and actually reaping the benefits from it, it's been quite amazing because at the start it's all kind of like, okay, where's this kind of going? And okay, I'm not really sure what the outcome will be. Um,
Mm,
and all the small changes you made thanks to you, like I feel so much better. I've got way more energy, or at least more level energy, which is kind of what I was
mm.
kind of experiencing. I was up and down all the time. And yeah, I'm more kind of me, which is nice. So
Yay! And
it's
that's so. I'm really glad you said that, because that's something magical that happens when I see clients. Or see clients or work with clients, is they come in after a certain number of sessions, or I chat to them after a certain number of sessions, and they just say, "I just feel a bit more like me."
yeah,
And it's like, ah, that's it. We've done it. I've got it, or you've got it. That is
it's
that is
mega.
the absolute. Yeah, that's the kind of absolute cherry on top for me.
Yeah,
Because if you're healthy, balanced, running well, doing all these positive things for yourself, then you feel in charge of your health. You feel positive. You feel excited. You feel energized.
yeah, definitely.
And people then get that spark back. And I hear that a lot in discovery consultations when I first work with fertility clients, is they've lost their kind of mojo, they've lost their spark, because they're stressed, they're tired, they're fed up. There's a kind of complete lack of control around what's going on around their fertility journey. They're not seeing friends, and life's just become a bit miserable. And
Literally can relate to all of that.
yeah, I wouldn't say pointless seems a bit strong, but there's something missing, you know. Then when I work with them and they get what you just said, then that's amazing. It's really, really special to see somebody then say, "Oh, okay, I'm back. I'm
Yeah.
back living my life."
Just to give you guys a rewind of where I was before myself and Ian was working together. Um, I've been so busy to the point where I'm working a job with quite long hours, really unusual hours, all sorts of shift work, and that was draining and tiring in its own right. And it's very much a concentration job as a train driver. Then coming home to running my racing business, and making sure that everything's all going to plan with that. And I had a bit of a bad period in terms of not being able to race this year because of the COVID situation. So that put additional stresses with my other partners, and there's a lot to manage as a racing driver. And then to then deal with fertility again, we're now back on our journey of fertility, and it's put us back on the emotional roller coaster of trying for a baby again. Not that we ever stopped, but we're back focused on it primarily to try and figure out what is causing us to not be able to have a child yet and what we can do to fix it. So as you can imagine, my kind of energy reserve was depleting massively. And I was just getting drained and tired, and just, back in this older way of just not really being productive, not really kind of doing stuff for myself and happiness. And yeah, it's been hard. That's the best way I can put it. But taking a step back with Ian, and actually looking through my kind of case and what I'm doing in my diet, which was actually interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. To try and balance out the lifestyle that I was living, because I can't really stop work because financially I need my job. And at the same time, I'm chasing my dream as a racing driver. And at the same time, I'm trying, it's my hardest to do what we can do for fertility. So I can't really stop these things in my life, but I can do things to help manage it and try and bring balance back by doing other things. And that's what I found most fascinating about this journey with you, Ian, because you kind of quite early on picked out a few things I was doing a little bit wrong with my diet.
Mm.
Dinner times, I've always been pretty healthy. I love organic food. I cook from scratch all the time. So I thought, oh, I'm healthy. I'm all good. But
Mm.
my sugary breakfast,
Uh-huh.
my caffeine intake, and perhaps some of the things that I was doing around kind of diet was not particularly great. And I think what you've allowed me to do is kind of realize that and make me accountable, and
Mm-hmm.
that's and understand what I need to change to help the imbalances. So when Ian goes through your case study, for me, I needed blood nourishing foods. I needed things that helped my yin energy.
Yin, Y-I-N,
Yeah,
yin, yeah.
yin energy. Um, and that's what I needed to change. So I've actually now sort of removed certain things from my diet that would affect that, and added things that would help boost that essentially. And just that change alone, I noticed a change maybe in about 3 or 4 weeks, that it's like that small thing that I did, and it wasn't massive. It was just a case of being a bit more planned out with my meals, understanding what particular foods would help my yin energy. And before I knew it, I was kind of like, wow, this is amazing. I remember chatting to you, Ian, like straight away. I
Yeah,
was like, I'm getting like benefits from this straight away. And then over the course of the next part of the journey, looking at kind of like the lifestyle and exercise and things like that. Obviously, I'm working out really hard with Will at the moment, and I'm now kind of doing more around actually resting. So when I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and a bit tired, because of what Ian's educated me around of why I can't be proactive or why I can't do this, sometimes just doing nothing. So that absolutely made massive sense. And then when I've gone back to the task I was doing, I can do it quicker, I can get it more efficiently done, and it's sorted. So um, I think this whole journey has been very much a case of listening to myself rather than just keep throwing myself at stuff.
mm,
And if I need that time, it's absolutely fine to do. So I'm so grateful, Ian, for your help and support. And I'm really looking forward to working with you in the future, and ongoing on this whole process.
yeah. Well, I think
It's
you've been,
amazing.
I think I said to you the other week, and I think you've been an exemplary student.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Two
And I've
thumbs
got to
up.
correct, yeah, yeah, I've got to correct you again, though. It's yin,
Yin,
Y-I-N.
sorry.
Yin.
Sorry. Yin.
That's all right. I'll let you off. Don't do it again.
I did listen.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you've been an exemplary student in that you have, you've turned up for the sessions, you've been engaged, you've listened, you've watched all the support videos, read all the sheets that I've sent you, but then you've taken action. And I think you've said this a few times through this, little changes, and that I think is really, really significant, because a lot of people think that, oh my god, to sort my diet out, I've got to do something massive. Or
Mm,
speaking to somebody about diet is oh, it means they're going to tell me I've got to eat, linseeds all the time or whatever it is. It's kind of, with the way I work, it's kind of different because it's based in Chinese medicine. It's not about it's a different way of looking at food, as you've now appreciated.
yeah.
It's looking at the energetics of food and how they affect your body. So it's a case of little tweaks usually with people. I mean, there are some clients I've got to make major tweaks with, when they're downing bottles of Diet Coke or something, it's like, okay, let's start small here. But it's usually small changes.
Mm,
And what I find is that small changes over a longer period of time has a much bigger effect, because it creates sort of sustainability, and hopefully I've delivered it to you in a way that it's been manageable.
definitely. It really
It's
has.
yeah, digestible as information. But I think, again, as you kind of hinted at, it's the educational kind of element. The it's that underpins all of this, because you could go and see. I know you could go and see a GP and you've got high blood pressure, let's say, and they'll say, okay, reduce your salt intake, and off you go, and that's it. That's the only input you might get. You're like, well, how do I do that? Where, and you go and eat stuff, and you think you're doing the right job, but actually you're not.
Mm,
So I might say to a client, okay, right, we've got to cut down on your sweet stuff, let's say. But I've explained to them why that's so important. They've understood their digestive system, they've understood the impact of sweet stuff, and quite often I will have advised that because they've got certain symptoms that relate to that. So then I can say to them, right, okay, the reason you're getting that type of headache, or the reason you feel like that, is because of this. Therefore, we're going to change this by doing this, and therefore you should get this result. And what
mm,
happens is, as you've experienced after 2, 3, 4 weeks,
yeah.
you get that result, which then reaffirms that I'm doing the right thing. And hey presto, over then a course of time, you get even bigger, better results. And it's done in a manageable, sustainable way.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the thing, it's kind of Chinese medicine really ultimately is a way of life. It is about balance throughout all areas of your life. And like you said, kind of taking rest at the right time of day. or taking rest when you've had a busy day at work, that's not you being lazy. That's you nourishing your energy.
Mm.
That's you doing the right thing. And I love educating and helping people on that. I think it's so fun, and it's just lovely to see people getting the results.
Yes, amazing. And just by taking stock of, because I'm very much one of these people that I like to do things for people and I like to be helpful. And that was part of what we discussed, that sometimes I perhaps do a little bit too much and don't focus much on myself in terms of like, I need rest. I need to actually concentrate on my own health. And actually taking that step back and analyzing my situation, in terms of, do I need rest today? Am I eating the right foods? Am I nourishing my yin energy? Got it right. um
Yes.
and by doing that, it's actually allowed me to be more helpful to the people that I want to help out.
Yeah.
So for example, my sponsors, I'm now able to give more of my energy to them in a more refined way, and rather than draining myself and going, I'm empty, I've got
Mm.
nothing left to give.
Yeah.
I'm now in a much better position. And then linking that back to fertility, we're now embarking on kind of exploring a bit more about our fertility and where we're exactly at. And just the changes we've made, I'm sure, has had a positive impact on our fertility.
Mm.
And we feel much more positive about our fertility journey now, which is amazing. We've got a better outlook, because we know that we're doing everything we can, both lifestyle, diet, and everything, in terms of being in balance, so that if we fall naturally, which would be just insane, then it kind of would be a perfect testimonial to you.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
That
I
would be
have everything
amazing.
crossed. Yeah, yeah. It would be amazing. But
Absolutely, yeah,
kind of following up on what you're saying there, kind of, in terms of how you turn up your sponsors. I think I gave you this one, didn't I? You can't pour from an empty cup. So
exactly.
if you keep giving and giving and giving to other people, eventually you'll just run out. And usually what happens is people then collapse. That's when people have nervous breakdowns or panic attacks, glandular fever, whatever it is.
Hmm.
But also then what's the impact this has on your relationship? The fact
Yeah.
that actually you're prioritizing yourself. How do you then turn up differently when you're with Katie?
Yeah, and we're we've actually, I mean, we've always been quite a happy-go-lucky, very very positive couple, and we have a lot of fun. We're like, we've never really grown up. We're just inside 18-year-olds, I think. But just in this last couple of months, we've both said to each other just what changes we've noticed, just how much more energetic we feel. We've got a bit more get up and go. And as much as we're still kind of hurting from our losses in fertility, um, we've got kind of us back. Yeah, I come back to that point of being us,
Mm, mm,
um, and it's been an absolute joy, and to see Katie kind of thrive from this as well. I'm talking this from my perspective, but for the viewers that are watching, that they're your partners or your female yourself, it's just been amazing to sit and witness and watch the really positive changes that Katie's gone through, and how much happier and healthier she now is in herself, mentally, physically. Just everything is just amazing to watch. So it's incredible, because mine and Katie's situation in terms of what's out of balance was similar in some ways, but in other ways was quite different. And just seeing how Ian's tailored my kind of plan, if you like, and Katie's has been different. And yeah, we've both got the same kind of result. So it just shows, Ian, that what you do is really important. And do you know
mm.
what, I think whether you're going through fertility treatment, um or you're on a fertility journey, quite right, I think that people should come and see you just for that reason, because it's about being really prepared for that journey. But do you know what, I think anyone in life needs to see you, because I think if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling, you've got aches and pains, if you're tired, if you're unhealthy, or you want positive change in your life, um, a bit like counselling, I think everyone needs to see you, and sort of take stock on
Yeah.
themselves to see what they can change. And I remember you saying about obviously the initial impacts of what it has, and like I said, I've got me back, and I've got this energy back, but long term, what are the results of that?
Hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. This is, yeah, once you understand yourself, your energy, where you're at, And this is, I explained this to people generally in the discovery consultation. We're talking about a small investment of time, energy, and money at this stage of your life, and we're looking at making some small changes. I think I gave you this analogy, didn't I, of trying to turn around an oil tanker or something like that. Or if if an oil tanker is off target by a degree and a half, by the time it's travelled 2,000 miles, that's quite a big difference.
Yeah.
And this is kind of how I see this stuff. It's like, okay, right, if we get you drinking just a little bit more water now, and that becomes a habit, you're going to be so much better off in 10, 15, 20 years' time. That it's insignificant what you're doing. It's the compound effect. It's that same concept of just putting a pound in the bank every day. In 20 years, how many thousands of pounds will you have? And I think, as we've said, these are small manageable changes. They're not significant. And this stuff then stays with you forever as well. This is, like I said, it's educational. You're learning your body, you're learning the concept of balance and energy from food and what have you. You can then, like I say, you've got that for life. So you can then tailor, you can listen to your body, you can listen to the seasons and what's going on around you, and then you know how to nurture and care for yourself. So yeah. Invaluable.
And it's so important. And like I say, just to experience these changes now, as long as I keep this up, which I know I'm going to, because it just makes sense. And actually, let's talk about a little slip up I had and just how.
Oh, go on.
So of course the Ben and Jerry's gate.
Well, I didn't want to say, client confidentiality and all that, but yeah.
Here it is. Yeah, here
Ben
it
and
is.
Jerry gate.
So cutting down sugar is, sugar's is no good for you anyway. We all know that. But the reasons why was important to me, and it's been really fascinating to learn about that. But myself and Katie, we used to go and grab Ben and Jerry's, a pizza, and sit and watch Netflix after fertility treatment because it just made us happy. But it actually didn't really work. It was just a psychological thing. But there was a day, was it maybe 3 weeks ago? I think now, maybe 4 weeks ago. I can't remember what it was now. But
I remember it was a Saturday night.
It was a Saturday night, yeah. And we grabbed a Ben and Jerry's and we ate crap food. And literally for the next 2 days, we felt like absolute rubbish. And we didn't have energy, and we just like, oh, this is grim. At the time, it was amazing, but the after effects was pretty poor. And I told Ian about this after some good weeks of doing really well. And it just proved to me what Ian's saying is right, because I felt like rubbish for the next 2 days. Had this amazing spike of like, I don't know what the word is, but these endorphins, is that the right word?
Endorphins, yeah, you get from sugar and fat.
Yeah, and then and I was just like, Ian was like, I told you so.
But no, come on, I didn't say I told you so initially.
No,
I did though last week, I think, when we spoke.
You did, yeah, that's it. But it did just prove the point of what Ian's saying and what kind of the change I made. The fact that I'd undone that work in one night, the next couple of days I suffered for it. It just embraced the importance of what I'm doing. And since then I've been, relatively sugar free. I've had the odd nibble of things and a little bit of tea and coffee, but by no means anywhere near what I was doing. And it's been a process of slowing it all down and getting to that point. But I'm so grateful for it, Ian. So it's been amazing.
So I think I'll kind of ask you a question back on that, Toby. It's kind of, has that been difficult for you to do? Was that a challenge? Was it a chore? Do you feel like you're kind of neglecting yourself, the privilege or the joy of having these foods?
Initially, I thought it was. Initially, I was like, oh, I don't really want to cut out that because I really enjoy it. But once I'd we was really straight from the start. We was like, well, if we're doing this, we're doing it properly, rather than half-heartedly. And because we initially got the results within 2 weeks, quite quickly, because we really went at it. When then we did have this like dip, we were like, what have we just done? We feel like rubbish, So at first it was daunting. I was thinking, I remember chatting to you, thinking in my head going, oh, there's no way I can cut down on this much tea, because I was drinking like over 6 cups a day, we were saying. And I really enjoy chocolate, and I really, but chocolate's no good for my fertility. So I think I had an emotional reason to understand it and take it on, because obviously if I want my fertility to improve, then I need to make changes. But to have the impacts change on my actual life has just embraced this whole point of like, do you know what, it's been well worthwhile. And I haven't actually eaten sugar in terms of like chocolate and sugary things.
Yeah, refined sugars. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had things like honey and sweet things naturally, but not too much of it. But I've not actually missed it. If I'm really honest with myself, I've not actually missed it. And I know I'm gonna have odd days where I'll probably, you know, I'm with the family and there'll be some cake around and tea. I'm sure I'll probably eat it, but I know I'm gonna feel rubbish the next day. But I've got
but that's a choice now, isn't it? It's an educated choice. And I think, like you said, you guys hit this hard and said, right, yeah, we're going to do it. So you felt positive impact really, really quickly, and then had something that wasn't going to do you any favours, so you noticed the negative of that. So I think, you know, then you realise what impact it's having. But when something like Ben and Jerry's is a regular part of your life, and then other sugary treats throughout the week, you're having those kind of spikes and those endorphin releases and all that. So you don't notice when you feel good, or in fact, you maybe rarely feel good. Because actually, if you take it all out and feel great, and then put it back in and feel rubbish, then
it's fascinating.
That, actually, it does really cause problems.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all about, you know, as we've talked, it's all about balance, isn't it? It's kind of, it's not. Hopefully, you'll appreciate that this has never been about, okay, right, we're putting you on a really strict diet and we're changing X, Y, and Z to get you this. I think we've kind of got the point across that is education and small changes that really enhance your health. So therefore, it feels comfortable, manageable, and you've got an accountability buddy on the way as well.
That's it, yeah. And it really has been lots of small changes rather than, right, you've got to do this. And I think that's what I've really appreciated the most is all of these little things have all compounded into one big thing. And here's me, I'm back. I've got loads of energy and it's really good. But we need to wrap up here, Ian. It's been great to have you on the channel. I'm sure you'll have many appearances from now on, because I want to do this as a regular thing if you're happy to, is to get you on. Cool. And if people are happy to ask questions, then you know you can be here to answer them. So if anyone's got any comments or questions for Ian, please feel free to put them in the comment section. I probably won't know all the answers, but I can forward them on to Ian and I can get back to you, and that's not a problem. But if you've got any questions, then drop them in the comments. But in the description below will be a link to Ian's website with a bit more information about what he does and how he does it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure if you email Ian, he'll be more than happy to help you and get in touch, even if it's not about fertility. It doesn't have to be about fertility. But if you want to make good, positive change to your life, for your health, your balance, your well-being, then give Ian a shout. And if you're on a fertility journey, even better still, because it'll only help and embrace what you're trying to do for your family trying. And then hopefully there'll be more babies in this world from loving mums and dads.
Yay.
But thank you so much for your time, Ian. It's been great to have you on.
Oh, it's been awesome. Always love chatting with you, Toby. You know that.
That's it. Oh, my dogs are barking.
Dogs mark the end.
There's my cue to go. I think it's the postman.
Yeah, cool.
But thank you so much, Ian. It's been great to have you on.
Awesome.
Take care, mate.
Cheers. See ya.
Bye. Hey everyone, so me and Kate are in Brighton today. Just come stayed at a hotel in this beautiful marina. So we're actually in Brighton to continue our fertility journey. It's been almost 2 years now since we had our last IVF round, and it was pretty tough. It's been a pretty tough time, but we spent the last year getting ourselves back to normal, and we're actually going to do what we're doing today, back in February?
Yeah, I'd say sort of.
But because of the lockdown, it meant that we couldn't actually do it. So the reason why we're here in Brighton is because we're having something done called the COMET test, which is to look at my DNA fragmentation and see how much I've got, or if at all any. But because of our embryo development, that's kind of what we think might be the problem of stopping us from having children. So proper nervous, not gonna lie, apprehensive of the results. We're hopeful that we've got some good news to come after today. I think we've got to wait about 10 days, haven't we, before we actually get any results. But of course we're nervous. It's a scary time for us. But at least we'll have some answers, good or bad. At least we'll have some ways to move on from here. But we're gonna go and drop off the sample. And then we're gonna have the afternoon in Brighton, just chill out, kind of forget about it, unwind. We've not been here for a while. This was actually one of our first date places we went to, where we stayed away for a night.
It was, isn't it?
back in the day was like, what, 19, 20, something like that. It's about 10 years ago. So we're back in Brighton. Time to have a good day. I think we deserve it. And a glass of wine somewhere as well, I imagine. But yeah, fingers crossed for results. So we're just off to drop that off now. And we'll be back with you soon. Hey everyone, I recorded the bit in Brighton in slow-mo, so you can't hear me and I'm just in slow motion. I was on Brighton Pier just doing a little bit at the end of the vlog, just to kind of let you know what we got up to. And I recorded it wrong, I looked and was like, oops. Yeah, YouTube was there, oh well. Yeah, I just want to kind of finish off this vlog just to let you know how things are really. It's been such a strange few weeks for myself and Katie, as we're now exploring the kind of reasons why we're struggling to have children. And if I'm honest, it's been really, really difficult. I've really struggled these last few weeks. Going up to Brighton was quite a big day for us because it was the moment that we're actually going to sort of have the test done. It was going to be sent off, and obviously we're still waiting for results. So actually in a few days' time, I'll find out what those results are. But weirdly, the results, whichever way they happen, aren't good. Which is quite complicated because most people expect to do a test to get either a good or a bad result. But this is a bit strange. It's more about educating us as to find out why our embryos aren't developing into babies. And it could be DNA fragmentation, it could be DNA damage, but there's also a whole host of other things that could be causing us to have these issues, and it's really, really complicated. We've put it off for so long. We were going to visit it back in February, but obviously the pandemic in March kind of kicked up, and that prevented us from actually doing the test. So yeah, it's taken a lot of courage to do it. It's taken a hell of a lot of courage to do it. I've been, I'm not ashamed to say I've put off these tests for so long because I've been so scared of the truth. And yeah, I'm nervous about this, but it was really cool to go and see Ian. It was great to go and see him and actually meet him in person, which was great because obviously Ian and I have been doing the male fertility support group together for Fertility Network UK. And we chat quite often now. It's pretty much week on week. We're always chatting over text or a call or something. And the fertility support group's been amazing. It's been so good. The guys on there, they all feel the same as me. They're all going through their own journey themselves. It's really, really difficult. But we're there to support each other, and that's fantastic. So, but yeah, it was so cool to see in the flesh. It was so nice to meet him. Obviously, I chatted in this vlog, was just kind of give you a little bit of background of what he does. And I think it's fantastic what Ian's doing in the male fertility realm. But the fact that he can support people in a really unique way with regards to like their diet and their health, their lifestyle, all those kind of things are really influential and impactful with regards to fertility. I think what I found in the past is that when I've been trying to take vitamins or I've been trying to kind of make improvements for my fertility journey, I've always looked at other people and gone, well, they drink, they smoke, they do this, they do that, but they still can have kids, and it's so confusing. But for me, that's what I need to change. I need to try and change my diet. I need to try and change things that are beneficial to kind of keeping us in the best way possible for fertility treatment. Yeah, it's been difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really difficult. But I'll keep you updated what the results are going to be like. I'll let you know in a future episode how the results come back, and then yeah, we'll be able to kind of get a bit more of an update of what happens and what we do next. And fingers crossed, we kind of know where we're at and know where we're going to go next, and hopefully one day we'll be parents. So we'll see. we'll see. But thank you so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for supporting this channel. If you've liked this video, please hit the like. If you're going through fertility treatment, or if you love motorsport, then hit subscribe, because that's going to be what I'm talking about through this vlog. Yeah, thank you so much, and take care. Cut. Here's Ian. Ian, where are you? There's Jensen. Kill it, Jens. Kill it. Standard dog life. Always gets in the way.